What's up guys, Ryan here from MudGunner, and today it is time to do some more patch wall safe doors. As you notice, I have a few here, but I've added 2 safes recently, so I was like, you know what, it's time for a couple more, especially with this 3-day weekend we have. It's officially Monday, so happy Labor Day, but you guys are probably going to see this later this week. Because this is going to take me a couple days to do, but I figured I could get the bulk of it done today. So last night, I stayed up way too late, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to just make the outline for this safe door. So I like to measure like 2 or 3 times and then only cut once. And so far for all 3 of these doors, I've not had to do any redos. So I'm doing something right. But basically what I have here is just some paper that I mocked up on the safe door because I have to make sure I cut the holes right for the keypad and then the door handle. I just undid the doors, but they're right here. So, or the door handles. So I have to cut a hole to accommodate those, and then on this safe I have to cut to accommodate this external hinge, which is kind of annoying because it definitely is going to look cleaner without it. But if you notice right here, you guys probably can't see very well, but there's a hinge right here and on the bottom of this one, so I had to work with it on that. But this one right here, which you probably only see part of, it was nice because there's no external hinges around the inside, so all I had to do was cut 2 holes and call it good. This is just one board, and yeah, I mean this was one of the easier ones to do. This one took a lot of time because there's actually a split right in the middle. So this is 2 boards that I cut, measured, and then cut the holes out. So it makes it easier to cut the hole like for the dial and the handle, but yeah, that one was just nice. And then same thing over here. This one's actually 2 boards as well because this handle does not remove, so I can't get the board over it. So this is 2 boards that split right down the middle, and then I cover it in carpet and patches. So I think it looks pretty good. I have this safe right here, and then I have one more behind the camera that I'll show you guys. But yeah, what I did was I measured it really well, and I have a lot of these magnets. These are what I actually use to hold the boards, and I'll show you guys a picture of what the package looks like. But you'll need these, and these are like 0.875 inches thick. Originally, I went too thin on magnets for this one, and it wasn't attaching to the safe properly because the carpet adds some thickness to the back. So I'm gonna grab a piece of this carpet here. So this is like the carpet that I use, and when you buy the carpet, it's like 25 bucks, but it gives you a crap ton of it. I have so much extra carpet, and I'm still gonna buy a new one to do this safe in the other one because this has been sitting out for a bit, and my dog's hair has gotten all over it. But yeah, the patches stick really well, and they're like really on there. So when you peel them off, it peels off a lot of the carpet. So even when I put the patches on, I just put them on once and I'll mock it up. But yeah, I'm really excited for it because I think it'll look good, and I have so many patches, guys, like it's insane. But I have random stuff like this. I have boxes full of patches. I have bags full of patches. Some of them are duplicates because I get patches a lot at SHOT Show, and they're not always new patches. So I do have a lot of duplicates, but you'll see these 3 are full, and I definitely have enough to fill this one, probably most of the other one. I also have some law enforcement patches that I'd like to put up. So I have this like bag full of law enforcement patches. Now these don't really have like any Velcro on the back, so I'm gonna buy some like tape Velcro just to put on the back of this and stick it on a patch wall as well. This one's cool, it's a Secret Service one. I also have the Secret Service Counter Assault Team, which is pretty sweet. So I know they had a bad incident, but that's still a pretty sweet law enforcement patch. But yeah, I'm gonna find a place to put all of these and leave room to get some more. But yeah, I have an idea for that. So again, this is just how I measured it. And then when you're mocking up the hole, I've used a movie cup for like all these safe doors. This just pops right over this, almost. There's a little bit of like, it's not fully touching the safe door, so I might have to make it bigger. And I used a 3-inch hole saw before, but I mean, like mocking it up to the cup, I definitely have room for a 4-inch. It's just at the time when I did the other ones, I didn't want to cut it too big. But I think this time around, I'm just gonna buy a 4-inch hole saw and it'll be fine. And now this one, I need something smaller. I have smaller hole saws as well. And yeah, just get kind of creative. I've used a movie cup for all like the dials for all of these so far, and it's worked. So for the smaller handle, you got to figure out something else. And then for the handle that you can't get anything over, you just have to like kind of mock it up. I mean, a 50-cent piece would probably be good for this because again, this doesn't come off. So yeah. But yeah, just trying to help you guys out. I'll show you guys a closer view of this. And this is going to be my 3rd video doing this. I did 1 video on this one video on those other 2. But I feel like my YouTube channel's slowly gotten a little bit better. So hopefully this is a little more clear for you guys. So I'll show you this, and then I'll show you the other safe that we're working on. So you see, I just have it mocked up. I I really did take my time with this. Like, I didn't rush it. This probably took me probably an hour or two, and it didn't need to take that long, but I get sidetracked. And again, these magnets, if you don't have magnets, that's fine, you can tape them, but you'll want to buy these magnets for the safe drawers. You see how thick they are? That's what's on all of these safes. And when I cut these, you see that it's pretty clean on the seams. So depending on how you measure it, it's going to cover the seam of the safe in between the door and the external of the safe. And when you add the carpet, it makes it thicker. So like I have this measured out, but when I add the carpet, it's going to add like a couple of millimeters on each side. So it's most likely going to cover the seam right there, which I don't mind, but you just have to make sure that you can still open your safe door. They tend to leave plenty of space to open either way. I do have to watch the hinge, and then I'll have to make something for the hinge on the bottom too, but I'm more worried about the top part right now because this one is going to be one solid board. I'm not cutting it down the middle, so I just want to make sure it's perfect. So what I'll do is I'll go to Home Depot, get the board cut, and then I'm going to just tape this template over the board, and it should make it pretty easy. And then I'll basically put the movie cup there, draw a circle around it, and then hole saw cut it out. And you can even get it really precise with where to start the hole saw if you do like diagonal lines. So you cut it right in the middle, or hole saw it right in the middle. There's that, and then this is how it came out. And if you guys can get creative and do something like this, I had this made for my girlfriend. My coworker cut the wood for me, but I put the carpet on there. I don't have a way to do rounded cuts like that. But yeah, this is my girlfriend's, and it came out really good. I'm happy with it. She actually wants another one in a different shape, so I got to figure out what I want to do there. But we both have so many patches, guys. It's insane. All right, guys, don't mind any of the mess, but this is the other safe that I recently got. And this one's going to be 2 boards as well because it's got this handle that's not going to come off. So yeah, it's going to be cut right down the middle. It'll make it fairly easy to do. But the one thing that's different about this safe versus all my other safes is this is kind of recessed in. So it's not going to sit as far off on the safe. So I'm going to leave myself a little bit more space on the inside. Where the other one, I don't care if it kind of goes over because it's just going to go over the seam. This one, there's no room to go over the seam. You have to make sure it's going to fit in there. Now the magnet still is going to put it above the safe, or it's going to put it just slightly on it. But if I make it too close, it's going to hit it. So I have to make sure that it stays in there because this is like recessed in like 1/2 inch or 0.875 inches, so more than 1/2 inch. And then the other thing is, since it's 2 boards, there's basically going to be magnets, so 2, 4, 6, and then probably 8 per board. So 8 magnets per side. And these magnets, it's $4 per 2, or at least that's when I went to Home Depot last. And one thing with this is Home Depot never has as many as I need, so I've been slowly buying them whenever I go to Home Depot for random projects. So I actually had exactly enough magnets to do this safe and the other safe just from like my stockpile. But I'm going to buy more magnets when I go to Home Depot. But this is the package that comes in. You guys can see the little UPC code there and copy it if you want. Yeah, these are the exact magnets I used. And yeah, they've worked out really well. That's what's on all the safes right now. So yeah, 2, 4, 6. I tend to do that with all of them. Just 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, 2 in the middle. And then if I need maybe one right there, just so it's not like pressing in, so that like if anything's pressing against it, it's not bowing the board. But the other cool thing with this, I'll show you, and this safe's not organized, so I recently got it and just threw stuff in here. So this whole safe door, there's nothing on it, but this will hold patches as well. So I'm thinking about putting all my law enforcement patches right here because they're very big and some of them are going to be awkward shape. So I think if I just line up the LE patches on this safe, it'll be pretty cool. It's not going to be exposed like all the other ones, but I think I kind of want to keep the theme of just like the standard SHOT Show style patches or the patches I buy. And then I'll put all the law enforcement patches right here. And then maybe I make this kind of like a law enforcement clone safe. Because again, that's just random guns in there right now, but I haven't organized it. All the boards are still on top. But yeah, that's my plan. So I think I'm gonna put the law enforcement patches on the door on the inside. I just gotta get some of the Velcro tape to put on the back of them because they're not Velcroed. But yeah, this will come out nice. And it leaves me plenty of space. I definitely don't believe I have enough patches to cover that. So that'll leave room there, but I should have enough patches to cover this safe. And then I should have enough patches to cover this safe. Now that makes it difficult because when I get more patches, then where do I put them? But I'm also gonna put them on the side of this safe right here too. So I'm gonna build a board for the side of that safe and call it good. But yeah, this room is coming along. I know it looks a little crowded with all the safes, but I kind of need it. And then this is just temporary right here. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out so far. So I'm gonna hit up Home Depot, get some materials, and I'll show you what I get. This is the first Home Depot to have a ton of the magnets. I'm gonna buy a few more, but that's what you need. It used to be cheaper. I think when I first did this project, it was like $10, and then last time I did it, it was $15. Now it's $22.52, but that's for this 4x8 sheet of wood, and you'll see it's pretty big. So you have plenty of leftover for other patch walls if you want to do them, but this should be enough for what I'm trying to do right now. This is the exact board I'm getting. Just want to throw this out there as an option for someone that maybe doesn't have a safe to work with or a lot of space. You could do this like 2x4 board, and you can still do a pretty cool patch wall with just that, and that's $7. You'll just have a lot of extra carpet if you buy the whole rug that I'm gonna get. Another nice thing about Home Depot is they will cut it for you, because this will not fit in my car. All right, so this gray rug is the one that I use, and it's still about the same price, 25 bucks. If I'm ever feeling kind of crazy, I can get a tan one here. Maybe if I get a flat darker at the safe, we could do that, but I stick with gray because that's what all of mine are. And this one will have a lot of leftover material too, because it's 6 feet by 8 feet. Okay guys, I am back from Home Depot, and I'll show you what I got. So I ended up going with a 3.5-inch hole saw. I think I could have definitely done a 4-inch, but it was noticeably more expensive. Like this is $26. The 4-inch one they had was like 40, 50 bucks. So I was like, you know what, we'll just go with this one, and I can Dremel it out. I still think it's gonna be a little small because this is like the size that I need. And again, this is about 4 inches, but that's what the Dremel's for. So even though this project's not too expensive, it does require you having some tools. So you'll need hole saws plus a drill. You'll need the magnets, which are $4 a piece. Luckily, I already had tons because I buy them every time I go to Home Depot, but I did buy 4 other packs. And then I got this Velcro fabric for the LE patches that I have that do not have Velcro on the back. This was like $6 for 24 inches. And since they're like massive patches, I'm only gonna cut little squares on them to attach them to the safes. So these will not need a ton of Velcro on the back, or at least that's my thought as of right now. You will need a staple gun. I use 6mm staples. The first time around, I think I had like 8 or 9mm staples, but they were just too long and they kept bending. So 6mm staples were the golden number. Again, Dremel. You'll need JB Weld. I actually already had some. I just bought another in case because I'm trying to not go there as many times as I have to. This JB Weld works really good for attaching the magnets to the back of the board. I should have looked for a better option for a saw. This is the only saw I have because I have to get around the hinges on that safe plus this safe. So I should have checked out and seen if they had anything better, but that's all I have right now is a saw. That might be a little annoying. And then again, hole saws, I have like just smaller ones here because the smaller door handles, you need to be able to work around that. And then a way to measure. Magnets are really nice because, well, one, you need the magnets to glue, but then I also like having magnets to set it. So while the glue is drying, I attach these from the other side to hold it in place. It's probably a little unnecessary, but I have them either way. And other than that, yeah, Scotch tape, tape measure, pen, Sharpie, whatnot, because you want to try to make this as clean as you can so you don't have any mistakes, but it'll have some leeway. So I ended up having to buy 2 of the 4x8 sheets because this safe is so wide. It did not all fit. Let me put this in half magnification. It did not all fit if I would have done that safe and that safe. So I ended up having to buy 2 of the 4x8 sheets, which were like $22 a piece. They've gone up since the last time I did this. But if you have safes like this, like that one plus this one, those only required 1 sheet of wood because they're not so wide. Like this one was 30-something inches wide. And then again, I cut it down the middle so that it's gonna go around the door. But this is 1 solid board for that one. And I'm gonna do this safe first. So I'm gonna work on them both like kind of at the same time, but I'm gonna start with cutting this one. And we'll see how my measurements hold up on this board. So I'm gonna get that set up, and yeah, this will be fun. Not gonna finish it today, but it'll be fun to at least get started. So I'm gonna start off by taking this off and taping it to the board. Hopefully my measurements are right. And there's a smooth side and a rough side. I glue the magnets to the rough side and staple the carpet to this side. So that will basically just be pasted on the front here. And I think I did a decent job, we'll see. Again, if there's a little bit of like leeway, or you get a little bit of leeway doing this, like it doesn't have to be exact, but the more exact you can make it, the better it's gonna look. So I tried to be as exact as possible. And I apply a decent amount of Scotch tape just so it doesn't fall apart or bend too much while I'm doing this. But you see, I mean, it's pretty sturdy because I spent all night taping that up. So you see, it's pretty solid. I mean, there's no there's nothing holding it on there now. So that will just apply right over this. Boom. Looks pretty good. Goes from corner to corner pretty nicely. So I'm gonna lay this on the ground and I'm gonna tape it up. All right, so I'm just gonna tape the paper to the corners here. It's not gonna stick to the other side very good, so you gotta put a couple pieces on there. And this doesn't require too much like math as long as you build the border right, because I mean, all I did was just tape it along the edges, taped it up to right here, because in my head, I can't do the math to figure out exactly how far I need and just perfectly cut it. That's why I do the template, so it makes it pretty much idiot-proof, and it works really well. Unfortunately, every safe is different, so I can't use this template again. So if anybody has this other safe, I could do it, but yeah, I have to basically make a new template every time I do one of these safes. I'm gonna do a couple right here. The main thing I put this template on here for is when I draw the circle on here. But the other nice thing about cutting the circle a little small and then dremeling out is you can keep seeing how it looks on there. So mock it up and then shave where you need to. You don't have to just have the perfect cut right off the get-go. So I start off with a hole that's a little bit too small and then I Dremel it to make it fit. I don't think it's going anywhere. I can also put it like right here. So, because this is gonna be nothing. The hole is gonna be right here and right there. Okay, I mean, I think that's pretty much good. It's not going anywhere. I should take pictures of this. That's one thing. I think it's cool to document this because then I can see, you know, years from now, oh, look at what I did and see how far I've come. Because it's crazy that I started with that one and then by the end of this week, I'm gonna have 5 of them now. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, that should be good for now. So next up, I'm gonna draw an X just to kind of mark a center so that I can start the hole from right there. And I also gotta trace the circle on there. This part doesn't have to be exactly precise because I'm gonna have a little bit of extra space on each side that I have to Dremel. I'm trying to make this as easy as I can for you and for me. And then this would just go like right there and I have to kind of space it out, but it's pretty much exactly where I need it. Sorry, you might be getting a lot more audio when I lean over. So with this, I'm not gonna use the Sharpie, I'm gonna use a pen, but it's gonna be pretty damn close. So I'm gonna just apply pressure. I'm gonna take my pen right here, just kind of start the circle. These will also work as kind of like a barrier when I'm using the Dremel, because it shouldn't be more than this, or it shouldn't be too much more than this. All right, there we go. Now I have most of a circle, and you can also like mock it up. Just put this in the center, which plenty of room there. I'm gonna use the bigger one. Again, I probably should have bought the 4-inch. I just did not want to spend that kind of money. So this will get me much closer, and it'll give me some room to spare if I need it. There we go, got a good little X. And then for this one, I figured this would probably be good. It's my Remington oil, stick that right there. Oh yeah, that's perfect. This one, I don't care if the Sharpie touches it, but we actually used that movie cup, so. Again, I'm probably gonna start off a little bit smaller than I need. Got a good circle there, got a good circle there. The more you spend in prep, the less you have to do later. I'll give you guys a close-up. So that's how that came out, and it looks pretty good. I also need to draw the lines for that in case this diagram moves at all or this template moves, so I want to mark that up as well with the Sharpie, and that I'm going to just draw along the line of the paper. So I drew the line with the Sharpie. You can't really see it, but it looks good. And now I'm ready to start my first cut. I'm going to take this outside to cut it. I'm not going to show you guys that because I don't think I need to. But you see, I probably could have gone the 4-inch route, but I also don't mind doing this and dremeling it, because if you go the 4-inch, what happens is sometimes it'll chew up the edges, and I'd rather be safe than sorry because the Dremel is not going to tear that up. Same thing with right here. You can mock this up. You see, it's like a perfect circle, which is probably fine. But I'm going to start off with the slightly smaller one because you see it's on the inside, and I would rather have to Dremel than, you know, accidentally do too much from the get-go. And these bits are pretty big, so I'm also going to start off by drilling a hole right where the X is so it doesn't move at all, because sometimes it'll get a little shaky when you push it through, so I don't want to miss it at all. So I'm going to drill a hole right there and right here just to get the main drill bit started, because these are pretty big bits, and then I will go to this. So I'm not going to show you guys that, but I'll show you how it comes out. All right, guys, so I just got done doing the first cuts, and this is my first time mocking it up on the safe. It already looks good. The safe is holding it up without anything on there. You see I got the hinge cut right here. I probably made this one just slightly too big, but this is also going to go up just a hair. And when I add the carpet, it adds thickness, but I think I took a little bit more than I should have on that off, but you're not going to notice it because the carpet will add some thickness all the way around. This one was pretty spot on, but I got to lift it up just slightly to account for the bottom here, and I think it's going to look great. But yeah, I would say I was a little bit more like anal about it the first couple times, and I kept like dremeling, fitting, dremeling, fitting, dremeling, fitting, and this time I'm like, you know what, just full send. I cut a big hole from the start, and I probably just, again, shaved probably just a hair too much off, but we'll see once I put the carpet on. I just have to add the bottom hinge cutout, which let me show you guys real fast. So if I zoom in down here, you see there's no bottom hinge cutout, but that looks pretty good from the get-go. So now what I'm gonna do, I don't think this is the same height difference on the bottom, so I'm gonna just mock up a bottom hinge portion and measure it. And this board will be done being cut today, and it's about 6 o'clock, so I don't know if I'll get the other one done, but I'm happy to at least get this one done. All right, guys, so I have my template down there. Now I'm just gonna tape it to the bottom of that board and do the final cut. I haven't cut it yet, but I got it all mocked up, and I think it's gonna look great, so let me go cut that real fast. All right, guys, I got the door all dremeled and finished. So what I'm gonna do now, it looks good, but I just wanna get a closer look at it and just make sure that everything looks like it's gonna line up properly. Because again, once you add carpet, you're making it a little bit thicker. So you gotta make sure you have tolerance for that, but I think it'll be okay. And real fast, I guess while I have it recording, I'll try opening it. All right, so as we open it, looks to be clearing all those, no problem. So I'm gonna take the template off now. I'm also gonna like wipe down the wood because it's all dusty from dremeling and cutting. But you see, that came out really good, especially having the template. It just exactly what I needed. And I feel like, again, measure 3 times, cut once, because yeah, it'd suck if you messed it up. But luckily this project is pretty easy to fix if you mess it up. So yeah, I'm happy with it so far. And you know it's gonna come out good when the door doesn't even need anything to hold itself to it. It's like just propping itself up. All right, so I'm gonna dust it, and I'm basically ready to start carpeting it because I wanna get the glue and the magnets drying on this one as soon as possible because it's gonna take about a day to dry, and then I need to start cutting the other one, but it's like 7 o'clock at night. So we'll see if I even get to that other one today, but let me know what you guys think so far. And I mean, yeah, you saw it takes time, but it comes out really nice once you got it done. This is why I think it's good to also wipe it down because it was pretty dusty, but it's looking good. Again, I see the space in there, but you guys are gonna see how this space kind of clears up once we add the carpet, because right now it's sitting just a little bit low. Once I have the magnets on there, it'll just sit a little bit higher. So, sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. But yeah, next up is add the carpet. All right, guys, so next up is we are gonna staple this carpet to the board. And one thing that I always did with all these safes is I did it horizontal, so you'll see like lines in the carpet. And basically, when the board is vertical, the lines are horizontal. So that's just how I've done it. I don't think it really matters. But again, this is a 6 by 8 foot carpet, and I should definitely have enough to do both safes because this thing's massive, and I have so much extra from previous builds as well. But I figured every time we might as well just buy a new one. So I got my floor all cleaned up, mopped and everything, just so I don't get any dog hair on it. There's still dog hair on it. But what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna lay this flat. And I'm not gonna be able to show you guys all this, but I'm gonna do my best. And I'm gonna just roll it out and put the board on it like this. And you see, it's a pretty good shape, especially when you're doing multiple, you'll just be able to unroll it again. So how I think I did it last time is I left about this much on each side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right there. And then, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way because this side's the straight side from the beginning. And that way, I'm gonna staple this side first because this side I'm gonna have to make some little minor cuts to fit the hinges on here. And I really hope I made these deep enough, but if not, I can always redo it. But I believe I did the right cuts. So I'm gonna staple this side first and then cut it. Now, one thing with this is, depending on how you staple it, especially when you cut the hole in the middle, it can get air pockets in there. So I try to like staple it and keep it as tight as I can, but we might still end up with some air pockets. And then how I deal with that is I'll put a staple on this side of the board because basically they're gonna get stapled from the back. But if there's an air pocket in there, I'll staple it from the front and then just cover that with a patch. But I really try my best to not get any air pockets. But I'm gonna line it up like this, and that's basically enough to staple on each side, and I'll cut that right there. But yeah, I'm gonna start this. I'm not gonna record the whole thing just because it'll take forever, and this is time consuming in itself, but yeah, I'll show you guys when I get this first layer done. Alright guys, I'm about halfway done. I'm gonna just show you where I'm at. So I stapled this side, which is the solid side, and then I decided to go middle before I went to the edge, just in case there's a pocket I can tighten it up, because I think that's what happened last time. Is on that one I did the sides and the bottom and then I did the middle, but I figured I could tighten the middle up and then pull from the sides to just get rid of any pocket. So I've only done this side and the middle, and then right now how I'm gonna work around the hinges is I did a cut right here so that it'll go in deeper than this one. So yep, that's just kind of where I'm at right now. And then I also decided to add weight to the board to help prevent pockets. I didn't do that on any of the previous boards, so this is just something new I'm trying. We'll see how it turns out. Either way, it's gonna look good, so I'm not worried about it. But just figured I'd give you guys an update. Another thing with the staples is you'll notice they don't all make it in. I don't know if it's just my staple gun or the staples or how I do it, but I try my best, and yeah, I mean, they're going in. It's just a lot of them don't end up making it, so that's where I'm at. All right, guys, I just finished stapling. I have it on half magnification just so it's easier because it's kind of all crowded in here, but yep, let's see how it came out. So I haven't looked at the front yet. I'm gonna take these weights off. This one I didn't really have much room, so I did my best right there, but it doesn't look the prettiest. All right, let's hope there was no air bubbles, which you guys won't even see on camera, but I'll see. There is not a single bubble, so that really helped out then. There's definitely there's play in it, but there's no air pockets, which is what I was worried about, because on this one right here, which I think you guys can see, there was an air pocket back here, and I had to staple it and then put patches over the staples, but this one's looking pretty clean. Now let's hope that it fits, because when you add carpet, again, it does make it thicker. There we go. Gotta wedge it behind that one. But now there is no space right here, and there is no space right there. So you saw how much space was in there before. Let's see if I can open it. Oh yeah. No issues there. And there's no magnets on there. It's just propped up. So that's really cool. But yeah, the last step is now I'm gonna put some magnets on there. It's hitting the ball of each of these. Well, it's hitting the ball of this one a little bit, and it's hitting the ball of that one a little bit, but nothing bad. So that looks really good. It covers the seam on the right side a little bit more than the front side, but I mean, from your point of view, tell me what you guys think without any magnets on there. Look at that. So, and then I'll put these handles back on and there won't be any issues there, because there's nothing like this can turn freely, no problem. This does not turn. So I really like how that came out. I mean, I liked how it came out on all these, but it's good to see another one, especially when it's all full of patches. This is gonna look sick. So next step, magnets, and I'm gonna let that dry for a day, or at least till tomorrow night, because I just don't want them to fall off, even though you see, I mean, it's holding pretty fine. So how I do this, with each safe it's slightly different. You have to make sure that you don't have anything like protruding on your safe, which I had on my other safes. I have one on this Browning safe. It kind of sticks out a little bit, but this is all smooth, so I don't have to worry about anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put basically 2 up here, 2 in the middle, 2 on the bottom, and then like 1 right here so that you can't push it in, so it'll have some support right there, and maybe another one right here. So it doesn't have to be perfect. They're pretty strong magnets. Like, I don't know, like it is pretty tight. I mean, they're meant to hold some weight. So, I mean, it's not going anywhere. Like, this is pretty solid on there. So holding this board up, it's gonna be a piece of cake for it, especially with 6 or 8 magnets. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna use the JB Weld, and I'm gonna let it sit for a day. And it's Monday right now. I'm not gonna be able to really do the other ones too much until tomorrow because it's already dark outside, and I'm gonna cut them outside. But I'm happy with how this came out, and it doesn't matter for you guys. You guys are gonna see it all in one video anyways, but yeah, I like doing this project. It's a lot of fun, and it doesn't require too much like money. It just requires some of your time and a little bit of, you know, planning. But look at how clean this came out. So I tried to make it as nice as I could. The staples don't look super pretty, but I even like trimmed this so it all just goes in line. And these magnets are gonna sit like that. Just make sure you glue them the right way. I mean, these magnets will stick either side, but yeah, just make sure you glue them the right way. I'm gonna glue these real fast and show you guys when I'm done. All right, I have the 8 magnets glued on there, and then I just threw that little circle one on there too. That was from when I very first started this project, and again, I said I bought the magnets and they were too thin. So I just threw 2 of them on there, and it's not even the same thickness as that. It's a little bit smaller, but I figured it's not gonna hurt it. It's gonna help hold it just a little bit better, and this is definitely overkill. You don't need this many magnets. You could probably get away with just the 6, so those 2, those 2, and those 2. But yeah, I went overkill. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight. It says it only needs 5 minutes to set. You're supposed to mix it, and yeah, it says 5 minutes, but I just leave it overnight. So this will be done probably later tonight, but I won't mess with it till tomorrow. And yeah, so next step, I'll put it on there, and then I'm gonna cut the stuff for this safe, which I have the boards right here, and then I'll carpet that one. And I'm not gonna put patches on until both safe doors are done. So I will see you guys soon. Well, I'll see you guys in a second for you, but it'll be tomorrow for me. All right, guys, I just got back from work, so it's been about 24 hours, maybe not a full 24 hours since I glued those. I am gonna put this up on the door, and then I gotta get started on this other safe ASAP because I am running out of daylight outside. So I might have to cut that board in the dark, but that's okay. So I gotta take these handles off. And then this should pop right on here. See my craftsmanship, I think it came out pretty good. Let's hope it just pops right on. Gotta like angle it. There we go. Okay, it's on there. These magnets were just kind of used as placeholders to hold the magnets from the other side. But initial thing, it looks pretty good. Let me put the handles back on. And you see it instantly makes the safe look night and day different. All right, there we go. Let me try the code. Boom. All right, let's moment of truth. Boom, looks good. It like is flush along the edge. Now there's a little bit of a gap here, like, cause these are pretty thick magnets, but honestly, it doesn't look bad at all. Oh, I do see, it looks like it might be pressing the board a little bit right here. So I think I just maybe made it a little too thick right there, but I'll show you guys a close-up. Other than that, I don't notice anything. So you see right here, it's pressing pretty hard against that. Now, what I could do is, since it's already carpeted, I can kind of break it underneath a little bit, which I don't really want to do. I don't think it's an issue, but if you notice right here, there's a slight curve, and here's the gap. But it's not going anywhere, like it's pretty solid on here. So there's just that slight curve at the end right there, but when you're looking at it head on, you really don't notice it. So I think I'm gonna leave it, because it's also not hitting at all when you open it, because it's still just touching that one part. So, and it'll open all the way and press against this, but what's nice about this door is it'll just hold. Oh, normally, there we go. But I don't know, that bend is bothering me a little bit. So I don't know, we'll see what I do, but I would say that looks pretty good. All right, guys, so my fix to this was I just pulled it against it pretty hard, and I felt it bend under there a little bit, and you'll see it definitely looks a lot more straight. I'm not worried about the slightest curve, which is what you kind of see there, because again, you're not gonna notice it here, but yeah, I just pulled it towards me and applied my thumb right here, and it just kind of bent it in place. So that worked perfectly there. And then I'm gonna show you guys how I'm measuring this one. So since these are 2 individual boards that are cut in half, I don't have to be as like precise and do a whole template. So what I'm doing is I just lined it up straight down so I know exactly how high from the top, because I only need a half circle cut there. And I took my nice $50 Knights Armament cup measure here and stuck it over there. So yeah, if you don't have one of these, I mean, you're just wrong. I'm just kidding. I got this for free at SHOT Show one year, but some poor sap online probably paid 50 bucks for one of these. They were giving them out for free while they served beer. But yeah, this is about the right size for this. So I folded a piece of paper in half. I drew a line down the middle. I verified that this is about the size I need for that. Put it on here, drew a circle. I'm gonna fold it in half, cut it out, and then I'm gonna tape this right there so I know roughly where I need to do it, and then I'm gonna put that on these two boards and draw my circle. So if that doesn't make sense, I will show you guys, but that's how I'm gonna do that. So just caveman math, that's all it is, guys, and Knights Armament cup measure. Yeah. All right, guys, so I have it all mocked up, and this is gonna work a lot better if you have grid paper. I have some Canik notebook paper, and that made it very easy to draw the circle in there, or at least trace it. For the outline, I used my Noveski challenge coin, which is a pretty sweet challenge coin, and that worked perfectly. You see there's a little bit of space on there, but again, when we add carpet, it's gonna leave some extra space. And then same thing right here, there's a little bit of space, but I think it should be pretty good. So now I'm gonna lay these two boards flat and put that right in the middle of them and trace my circles. And then I'll still have to do the hinges, but I'll deal with that in a little bit. All right, guys, so it's all mocked up. I have it taped, I have it Sharpied, so now the next step is to take the tape off and the paper off and just cut it. So what I'm gonna do is, it's a little bit tougher to use a hole saw when it's two split boards. So I'm gonna use my standard saw and just kind of cut away at this, and then I'll be able to Dremel it and kind of make it look clean. But you could use a hole saw if you want. I think I used a hole saw last time, but you would just have to use half of it. So yeah, I'm gonna use just my standard hand saw and just kind of cut this out in small triangles and Dremel it and make it look clean. But I have to record today's YouTube video, so I may not get this done until later tonight. But you guys will see this video at some point this week. I know for you it's all just one video, but for me this is multi-day project, because yeah, it's 8 o'clock at night, and yesterday's video didn't go up until 11:59, so I can't wait that long again. But yeah, this is a time-consuming project, but it does make it worth it once you see the finished result. So I'm looking forward to getting this done, but we still have a couple more days. So I'm about ready to make the final cut. I got the first board cut and I mocked it up and it looks pretty good on there. So I have to cut those two holes right there. And then I'm also gonna cut the hinges out as well. And I did it the same way I did this other safe. I just mocked it up. I'm gonna tape those pieces of paper to this board. Make sure you do it in the right spot, obviously. And then I'm gonna go cut these. It is about 10:30 p.m. right now. So my goal tonight is to get this all cut, carpeted, and glue the magnets on so that tomorrow, Wednesday, I can put the patches on and post this video for you guys. So wish me luck on that, because there's a lot of footage to go through, but I'm really happy with how it's coming out. And yeah, I know I keep showing you all these, but it's gonna look so sick once all 5 patch doors are full. I'm curious if I have enough patches for this one. So that was a little time consuming, and as you can see, I'm a little sweaty because it's still like 100 degrees outside and it's 11:22 at night. So everything is cut. Let's hope this pops right on here. Boom. That's on there. There's that. And there's that. That looks pretty good. If I can hold it in place. There we go. That's how it's gonna look. I am gonna staple it and glue the magnets on. I'm not gonna show you guys all that because I've done it multiple times now, but there you go. It's mostly on. Again, it's 11:22 at night. I assume this is gonna take me a little bit because I gotta dust all these off and vacuum and mop the floor again before I do this, because I lay the carpet down on the ground as I'm stapling it, so I don't want it to pick up all my dog hair. But yeah, let me know what you guys think so far, and it looks pretty good. I'm excited for it. And yeah, it's a fun project. So it is 1:38 in the morning, and I am all done with the stapling. That is very time consuming and annoying, but as you can see, I took my time and I think it came out pretty good. It looks nice and symmetric. And one thing when gluing these magnets on, just make sure if you have anything protruding, like this little piece right here, it just barely sticks off, and it's gonna take up that corner, just make sure you move the magnet in a way that it's not gonna hit that. Everything else, this is all flush, so I'm not worried about that. But basically, I'm gonna put 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there on each board. Just that one is gonna be a little bit higher, so I'm gonna just mock it up basically where the bottom portion of the hinge is. So it's gonna be like somewhere right here, just so I don't hit that. But yep, I'm gonna do that. It's gonna put us around 2 in the morning, and then I'll put the boards up and put patches on tomorrow, which again, it's all in the same video for you guys. Lucky you. All right, so it is the next day and I am ready to put the boards on. I'm gonna start with the right side here, and let's hope it all just pops into place. All right, there's that one, looks good. And then this one, see how it came out on the back, looks pretty good. I would say that looks pretty good. Nice. Let me do the code real fast and then I'll open it. We are ready to open. Let's see how it does. Boom. Looks good. The safe is not organized yet. I got it like a week ago and yeah, I haven't done anything with it, but that opens and closes very nicely. And you see the seam lines up pretty perfectly. The hinges, there's no issues there. This is all perfect around here. If anything, there's a slight amount of space on the bottom left here, but you really don't notice it, or I don't notice it. Yeah, I mean, I would give myself an A for doing it. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I know you see the seam right here, but I'm gonna cover that with patches. And other than that, I wanna put patches on here right now, but it's like 7:30 at night. I have to start editing this video because there's probably 40 minutes of footage. So after I edit it, I'm gonna put patches up, which this is all pretty quick for you guys. It's gonna be hours for me, so I will show you guys once it's done. I turned just over an hour and 20 minutes into 41 minutes so far. But if you'll notice, it is 9:08 p.m. on Wednesday, and I haven't even started putting patches up, and that's gonna take me hours. So unfortunately, you guys will not see the patches up in the video today, but you will only have to wait till tomorrow, which is awesome. If you are a fellow patch collector like myself, which if you're watching this video, I assume you are, if you go to my website, atroxcode.com, and you buy my Patch Rat patch, which is right here, I will give you a Mud Gunner patch for free. And yeah, that's 10 bucks for the Patch Rat patch, so it ends up breaking down to $5 per patch, which I don't think that's bad considering some people charge 20 bucks for theirs. And yeah, this is going to be for the month of September. There's no code to enter, just buy a Patch Rat patch and you will get a free Mud Gunner patch. So thank you guys for watching. And tomorrow I will run you guys through all the patch walls and all the patches. So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for that video.